My name is Cranstana Anderson. I'm running for City Council in District 3, and I live and always have lived in the city of Detroit. My response to that question was basically change the regressive tax to a progressive tax and have higher value property, those taxed at a higher rate, and leave the lower property values taxed at a lower rate. Now, how that specifically would work would require research. So I want to give you a lot of answers, but I want to make sure that I step into making sure I understand each and every aspect and legal formality that we have to go through to actually make everything we do work. So if we change the higher value tax to the higher paying tax, that sounds right. It makes sense to me. So I just want to make everything make sense. So when you have community working together, engaged together, you all know how to educate each other, or you learn how to educate each other. So a lot of people don't know exactly what it is to have a millage. They don't know how they're taxed. So if we educate each other on how we are taxed primarily, I read with them, I can't see with them, we can work better. So I want to make sure I stay focused on my question because we got 2 minutes, y'all. I'm sorry.
Got 1 more minute.
Okay, I'm sorry. So what I would do is to do the Reference Institute of Taxation and Economic Policy gives us the information that we need to make certain changes. So I want to make it make sense by studying and eliminating policies that allow low-income homeowners to experience such hardships. Other than that, it's a blatant abuse of power and openly expresses prejudice of the less fortunate, with no consideration to the financial hardships derived from low-paying jobs in Detroit and Michigan as a whole. Examples: progressive taxes, income and estate taxes. Strengthen the oversight, have semi-annual June and December audits prior to sending out assessment notice to property owners of the assessment data to ensure that the information is accurate and legal. That was my 2 points.
Thank you, ma'am.
Overassessed and or foreclosed due to its lack of competency or leadership and training be rectified by using funds accumulated from the property sold by the Detroit Land Bank, which itself is an entity of the city of Detroit. The funds be distributed equally to affect families until they are made whole. This would include establishing community reparations initiatives and debt forgiveness for those overassessed in their homes. This would also include legal support and housing assistance. This would motivate and encourage revenue to the property tax revenue system.
Thank you.
Okay. Cranstana Anderson, District 3. I have to agree with them. That's called collective bargaining.
Yep.
And I'm gonna leave my notes because I'm better just freelancing it, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. So of course, we're gonna look for some certified assessors. We're gonna make sure they do comply with obtaining a certification. But as council person, I would make sure that I'm diligent about going out and finding those who are qualified that not only know how, but know how to teach it. They don't know just how to do the job, but they know how to make sure all of us learn how to do the job. Because when all of us know how to do a job, we do it better together. Secondly, holding them accountable, I totally agree. Collective bargaining. If you cannot give us our required public service that we deserve, then why should we approve a budget for you to move forward on your agenda? So yes, that was perfect, and I thank him for that, because out of everything that I thought of making them, holding them accountable without conflict, that was the best negotiations. Make sure that you have what we supposed to have for our people so that you can get what you want. And we want to make sure that we police in that too, so that even what he wants don't conflict long term and come back to bite us in our butt.
Thank you.
Hi. Okay, so Cranstana Anderson, District 3. As far as what I've done in my involvement with the Coalition of Tax Property Reform Coalition, right? I only met Russ maybe a year ago, and I just started following. What I do is try to follow and see who I'm following, what you guys are doing. But boots on the ground, The reform that I've been doing in my community is with my seniors and my residents that are losing their homes. So we sit down and I help them get the information that they're supposed to get in order to apply for the programs that will help them stay in their homes. And I've been doing that for over 5 to 10 years now. Just starting with me and my mom first, and then my girlfriend's mom, then my neighbor, you know, just our residents that don't understand how they get in these situations or how to get out. So that is close, but I will continue to work with the coalition to make sure that I'm totally educated and participating in the process and in the movement from this point forward, okay? Yes, City Council, I will visit becoming part of that board of review, and I believe anybody that we appoint, we should already be accountable for them. So if we're making bad decisions on appointing people that are not doing the job, we still should be accountable, and you still should be able to remove us for putting people in office that don't have our best interests or not qualified to actually do the best job for us. Another question, I'll try to keep them down for you. The barriers. The barriers is, I believe we just need to be transparent. We need to work together. We need to have a line of communication, engagement, constantly in each community. Even though we're in districts, we need to still come together as a city to make sure that we're aware of everything that's going around, the barriers that are in each district, and how we can work together to stop those. So education is big on my platform. I don't believe that we should be giving tax breaks downtown that don't specifically speak to how they're going to give money back into the communities. Example, they come and they get tax abatements, but before they come, they already have their plan. And if we was to say no, they would have to go back and work their plan again and get new loans and do all that. So before they come, we need to make sure that we have them incorporate in their plan how they're specifically planning on receiving that abatement and those incentives, how they're going to give to our education system, how they're going to help with our public service, and how they're going to help with making sure that we all get something back into the community. So before they come, we need to set up different guidelines on how you present your plan to get that abatement.
Thank you.